Hello and welcome to this new series entitled How to Improve Your Marriage Line. And more specifically today we are going to talk about the timing on the marriage line. But before I go into the timing, there are a few points that I want to make clear. And to make them clear, I'm going to show you a few illustrations. So for instance, the first one is a good marriage line. So where is the marriage line? This is the one that is under the baby finger, and it should be horizontal. It should be coming from the outside part of the hand towards the inside. So here we have one that is okay. It could be a little bit longer, but it is actually a good marriage line. Now the next one, as you are going to notice, there is no marriage line. However, this person had 2 wives and is still married with the second one, but no marriage lines. On the next one, this was a woman. She was married a whole life, well, since she was around 25, and she's still married about 30 years ago. For 30 years, she has been married to the same man. However, there is no marriage line. Now, on the next one, you see a very definite marriage line, 1. However, this person had 2 wives, and they lasted for quite a long time. Still, just 1 marriage line. And finally, my last example, you see lots of marriage lines. However, this person not only never married in his whole life, he's in his 60s right now, but he never had a girlfriend either. And still, lots of marriage lines. So the point I want to make is the fact that marriage lines don't show relationships. They show commitment. And more specifically, the type of commitment you are ready to make. Now, the next point I want to make, and this is one that is very, very dear to me, as you can see on the next picture, we have 2 marriage lines from the same person. And the first one is very, very long, it's really going down, and the second one is much shorter. So it actually shows a big improvement. The next example, it's a person who had 2 marriage line, and it turned into 1 a few years later. So why did I show you that? It's because just like every line on the hands, marriage lines change. So even if you have the worst marriage line on your hands, don't worry. If you change your attitude, if you change the way you behave, if you decide to really do it, then your lines are going to change. And this is the reason why I created this series on how to improve your marriage line. So now let's go back to my topic today, which is timing. So in order to calculate the timing, we are going to take again this area of the hand, and we're going to sort of do a graduation in 4 parts. And the first is going to be 0. So first to 20, then 20 to 40, 40 to 60, and 60 to 80. So this would be more or less the timing of the marriage line. So in this example, you would see that between 20 and 40, yes, there was a certain commitment for relationship, but not very strong. And then between 40 and 60, it's actually a lot stronger. But there is another way I like to do the timing, and it's not as much timing as more the type of relationship that you are going to attract. And in this case, we are going to take again the area of Mercury, where the marriage line is, but this time we are going to separate it in 3 parts. The bottom part is going to be physical, the middle part is going to be social, and the top part is going to be mental. So what does this mean? It means like the bottom part, if you have lines there, it means the relationships are going to be based more on physical, the body, attraction, beauty, sex, anything to do with the physical world. If you have relationship or lines, I shouldn't say relationship, I should say marriage lines or commitment line. In the second part is going to be more social. So social means like the interaction we are going to have, the activities. So maybe we will want to do something together, such as starting a family or starting a company. So everything will be more on the social level. And then the third part is the mental. So the mental, it has to do with our ideas or ideals or our beliefs or our values or maybe causes. And this is where we would see the lines. As you can see, the three parts would also correspond to the different parts of life, because of course when we are let's say between 0 and 30 would be more focused on the physical. When we are between 30 and 60, well, this is where when we develop our life, work, business, we start a family. And then after 60 would be more like since physical is less important, you are more into, okay, how we going to share our ideas or ideals. So in our example, you can see that there are almost no lines on the physical part, and the very strong line is in the social part. So there are actually two lines there. So this person probably would have the reason why he would want to be in a relationship would be for social reasons, so to do things with his partner. So this concludes my episode on the timing, but I really want you to remember, because it's extremely important to understand that if you want to understand the marriage line. The two things I want you to have it very clear is marriage line, they don't show relationships, but they show the type of commitment. And second, they change all the time. So don't worry if they are not perfect. And this concludes my episode today. But stay tuned, because our next episode is going to be on when you have no lines. See you next time.